I know what you're thinking. Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine is poised to hit theaters this July. So here comes the JoBlo train getting us hyped for some revisited pieces of the X-Men and Deadpool franchise.
Let's f***ing go.
Perhaps you're right. Or perhaps we can reinforce 2017's Logan, directed by James Mangold, as being another movie in the comic book realm that redefines the genre as we know it. After 2008's The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan, the proverbial superhero cape was almost impossible to fill in terms of overall execution due to the worldwide success of Nolan's second entry in the Dark Knight trilogy. I think this is why it's still to this day referred as the best comic book film of all time. Would it be fair to say that without Logan, there would be no Deadpool and Wolverine? That's an iffy question considering just how mind-blowing Logan was.
You're waiting for me to die.
Not only did it give Hugh Jackman an actual representation of Weapon X in a gritty, mature adult context, but it showed a vulnerability we were waiting to see to our favorite ass-kicking mutant. An aging, dying Wolverine that has one last fight left in him, even when all hope is lost. I mean, he does all this while shouting F-bombs and carving up enemies in true barbaric fashion over the course of the film, which is what makes Logan even better. It gives off the impression of a grand western told through the lens of a comic book film. There's just one small problem. Logan was stripped of everything superhero in nature and replaced with the most human portrayal of a superhero to date. Sure, he's still impenetrable to bullets, to an extent. He still has superhero powers, even when they're failing him, and he's more crotchety than ever.
And I am not taking it. Don't fucking hit me! Don't hit me!
But it's the message conveyed to the viewer that makes this another transcending event in comic book cinema. Humans have been pondering for the longest time about a certain roadblock in our life, which is what makes Logan's theme so profound. When time has always been our biggest enemy, have we achieved a self-fulfilling life? Has there ever been regrets or aspects throughout our journey in pursuit of an ideal higher road when the dust settles? I think this is what establishes Logan as one of those unique gems within the comic book world. And that's all due to director James Mangold capping off not just a successful Wolverine standalone trilogy, but Jackman's X-Men legacy as a whole. So it's me, Paul Booksaber, aka Paulie Books. So let's pop out our adamantium claws, light up a stogie, and go full-on berserker mode as we discuss 2017's Logan, directed by James Mangold. We could all be honest to say superhero films tend to be extremely predictable. The hero or heroes come face to face with an intimidating threat, the world is put in peril, and we are forced to deal with the villain's comeuppance only for them to be relinquished in the third act. Straight and simple, right? With films like Spider-Man 2, The Dark Knight, and Logan, they're so respected in movie history because the hero is put into insurmountable odds while juggling their personal life, creating mental anguish and struggle. It all feels too real. And we can relate because most of us work 2 jobs while balancing a family, paying bills or barely hitting deadlines, and most of all, wanting that quality of life that we look forward to on the weekends.
We got a serial rapist in Crown Heights. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. That's from my other job.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows for our pals on the panel, that's for sure. However, Logan to me does this better than most, because he barely has a support system and it's downright depressing, as it is bleak. This is a man who we all know as this epic superhero that has fought in multiple wars, had epic battles in the Statue of Liberty or within Xavier's School of Gifted Mutants, that has sacrificed himself time and time again for the greater good.
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the Store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
Now we're succumbed to Logan being a limousine driver on the outskirts of Texas and taking care of a very frail and bedridden Charles Xavier, who suffers from telepathic seizures that could decimate everyone on Earth, but I'll get into that in a bit. But that's not the least of his worries. He's confronted by a woman, Gabriella, who needs Logan to get a young child by the name of Laura out of Dodge, giving him a big sum of cash and asking him to drop her off at a secret location called Eden. Logan does agree to take both into hiding, as the money he receives will get Logan, Charles, and Xavier's caretaker and mutant seeker Caliban away from their industrial metal shell of a slum, and instead living on a tropical island somewhere. But this is where the film showcases Logan's race against time. Laura was developed by Logan's DNA due to a bioengineering company called Alkali Transgene, looking to make mutants the next wave of military weaponry. This by design makes Laura Logan's daughter. Crazy, right? Cyborg mercenaries that work for Transgene called Reavers are on Logan's tail due to Laura escaping. Logan must decide to fight the good fight or give up the one mutant that may be his closest link to reigniting his own humanity again. And considering this takes place at a time when most of the mutant population was wiped out, you know damn well Logan will protect his own kind. Especially when he obtains proof of mutant child abuse at the hands of Transgen through the help of Gabriella's phone. Logan is truly depressing stuff indeed. Logan has some truly impressive scenes ever put onto screen within a comic book film, and that's a testament to its R rating. We get to see Logan slash and gash multiple foes in true barbaric fashion. It's real gory stuff, you're gonna love it. It's something us hardcore X-Men fans have been waiting for since his introduction in 2000. Logan's beginning scene shows an opposite introduction to other X-Men films from years prior. Logan is drunk and passed out in his limo, looking miserable and tired. It's when a bunch of thugs decide to jack the rims and tires off which infuriate Logan, causing him to go into a rage. He literally chops limbs off, sticking his claws through people's faces, underneath chins, multiple stab wounds to the chest. It's fantastic. It's sad seeing our friend move slower, his claws barely popping out, and that's all due to the adamantium poisoning his blood, slowly killing him. I don't think the constant alcohol indulgence helps him either. We also get an amazing display of Laura's X-23 in savage fashion, as she is just as ferocious as Logan. She's incredibly fast, incredibly agile, and possesses claws from her feet. When the Reavers track Logan and Laura down, Laura decimates all of them, spinning and jumping her way through the pack of cyborgs and turning most of them into chum. There's also an amazing set piece involving Logan going up against his clone X-24 at a family farm. X-24 is like Logan, however mindless and sadistic. It's as if X-24 is full-blown berserker rage while Logan could control his rage if it came to it. What we get in this battle is tons and tons of blood, some nasty stabbings and gashes, and most of all, Logan knowing he is completely outmatched. It's a damn shame that the family that took Logan, Xavier, and Laura in that night were all killed in horrific fashion due to the Reavers being on their tail and using X-24 and Caliban to their discretion. And also, while on this fateful trip, we end up in Oklahoma City at a casino where Charles Xavier endures a telepathic seizure during a standoff with the Reavers. Everyone is under Xavier's control, resulting them to freeze up. It seems they're all in traumatizing pain. Logan, while in severe pain, clawing his way down the hotel hallway straight out of a scene in Inception, hoping to get Charles and give him his medication. It's truly phenomenal stuff as he slowly sticks his claws in the Reavers, killing them, and supplying Charles his medication to alleviate the seizure. It's a nail-biting, intense scene. Let's not forget the grand finale. A massive brawl between Eden's mutants who possess Omega-like powers and the leftover Reavers led by Boyd Holbrook's Donald Pierce and mad scientist Sander Price. It also gives us a rematch between Logan, who is pumped full of adrenaline, and X-24. Prior to that, Logan was straight up delivering a massacre for the ages in classic Wolverine form, harkening back to his earlier X-Men films. Logan knows this last stand will have to be him coming out on top by any means necessary. X-24 took Charles Xavier's life earlier in the film and will continuously hunt down Laura if Logan perishes during this matchup. This battle was just as grueling as the first. Both X-24 and Logan are taking serious blows, Logan growling through each stab and being thrown around like a rag doll. It's something us fans aren't used to seeing much from Wolvie. It's only when Logan is impaled and about to get killed that Laura takes Logan's gun, which has an adamantium bullet in it, and shoots X-24, killing him. That bullet was teased throughout the film as it was Logan's way out and onto greener pastures. In all honesty, there was no dry eye in the theater when I watched it. It also cemented Hugh's legacy as the ultimate portrayal of Wolverine after appearing in 8 other X-Men films. The acting is exceptional in this movie, which embraces the most grounded aspects that are more outside the comic book realm. It's downright robbery when both Hugh Jackman and Sir Patrick Stewart weren't nominated for any Oscar. Even Daphne Keene's Laura was on top of her game here, but clearly, this is Hugh Jackman's film. He is a man that has lived through centuries of pain, trauma, and clearly cracking at the seams. He lost all hope in humanity looking for a way out, with zero fucks to give, and Jackman stated he wanted this film to be a mix of Unforgiven, The Wrestler, and Shane, a classic Western film which plays on a hotel TV that Charles and Laura are watching in Oklahoma City. Logan has a critical score of 93% and an audience score of 90%. It also grossed $619 million worldwide off a budget of $97 million. Big money, and even more eye-opening that it was an R-rated superhero film from a character that mostly appeals to children and teenagers. Logan is a true superhero masterpiece that deserves its place on the Mount Rushmore of comic book cinema. It's a captivating drama that pays homage to the westerns of yesteryear and those lone gunslingers that spent their days traversing the countryside on the beaten path towards redemption. Logan fits his narrative poetically while also exposing himself as a man with severe vulnerabilities towards the end of his journey. We've seen this all too much before in cinema with movies like Man on Fire, Leon, Paper Moon, or even Little Miss Sunshine. Logan also plays like the Last of Us video game time to time, echoing the relationship between Joel and Abby. I don't care what anyone says, Hugh Jackman would have been the perfect Joel, but Pedro Pascal does just fine. Please see Logan if you haven't done so. It's a film like this that keeps us perfectly balanced in the comic book genre. While we get some left field camp or popcorn fodder entertainment, there are films like Logan, Joker, The Batman, Watchmen, Dark Knight, Winter Soldier, Spider-Man 2 that make comic book films stand alongside Hollywood's best and be just as respected as an art form. There will be a day when the Academy Best Picture Award goes to a comic book film. We've seen several films already get nominated for the prestigious award like Joker and Black Panther. It's only a matter of time when they actually win the award. Until then, fuck off, Martin Scorsese.